Hello. What a day, my gosh. Thank you so much. EZ with you on another edition of the Patreon bonus podcast. I have some new people to welcome in who have signed up. Thank you for that. That would be MT. MT just signed up for the $5 a month tier 1. Thank you. I appreciate you. Enjoy. Make yourself comfortable. And don't be a stranger, please. Also, Chris Gregg signed up for the 7 days. Chris Gregg also signed up, is following me on, just started following me on X as well. That's kind of unusual, the name Chris Gregg. Maybe it's like related to the famous Chris and Greggs. Which, by the way, I continue to get the shit beat out of me on the goddamn Freeburn Hot Wings Facebook fan page. Again, minding my own fucking business. And I get blown up on there as Chris weighs in, still no puppies. Yeah, today is an interesting day because Pooh Bear has a day off today from work. So she is on puppy duty. Puppy duty, or the puppies will be back tomorrow right here. You can count on that. Linda says, hi, I'm glad he squeezed us in between my meetings. Busy meeting day for you. Kenney says, I was reading Kenny's post. Kenney has diverticulitis. Ugh. So in your colon there, you got those little pouches and those little nooks and crannies and things to help you in your digestion called the diverticuli. And sometimes they start to go "Arr!" and bark at you. They become inflamed. Inflammation has set in, and that is a painful thing. Oh, boy. So my man's dealing with that. Here he was making all the right choices on the day, too. He sat down and had a smoothie. He's thinking, that's it. I've got this. I've got today locked up. Even then, even though he started feeling like shit, he went for the chicken and the rice, and then it all came crashing down on him. No more seats for Kenney. Yeah, I don't know if it's sometimes diverticuli. I'm pretty sure you can get away with it not being a chronic thing. It might be a flare up, and then you kind of maybe make some modifications in the diet. And then you'll be fine. So that might be in the cards for you. All right. So Doug from Bosco's fell down the fucking steps. He got home from work on Friday. And I don't know how it went down. He's not exactly the most nimble guy. He's got like... a couple of new hips, I think. I think he had hip replacement surgery. Both of them. Right and left. What else could they be? Right and left. So they said, easy. What's your schedule look like for this coming week? I go, well, first I ruled out Tuesday because I got a basketball game. Bosco's only serves dinner. We need people there. We need more workers in order to have a lunch. They should have a lunch. You're leaving money on the table. I go, I'm out Monday and Tuesday. Doug E., which is Doug's kid, says, all right, no problem. So Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, I go, I can help you then. But then I got done with all this shit today, and I go, you know what? I think I can help you today, too. So I said to Pooh Bear, I go, look, hey, I might be going into work. She goes, I thought you were going to start saying no. I go, well, technically I wasn't asked. So I couldn't answer yes or no. I just said, if you need me, I will come in. I volunteered. She's just shaking her head at me. By the way, Young Adam Schwab on the Ben and Eric Patreon podcast. This is the same day that he was operated on to repair his badly damaged shoulder and upper arm. He's blaming the medicine. But my God. Oh. If you happen to go to yesterday or the Ben and Eric Patreon podcast from a few days ago, it may have been one of the most painful examples of skip the labor, give me the baby. There was so much labor in that story. Oh, Adam, I see you're here. I hope you're feeling better, and I hope we can chalk it up to the medicine, because if you actually were not under the influence of the meds from the surgery, and that's a habit of yours, well, that needs to change. I am slowly but surely trying to get people to not be so fucking long-winded. Oh. And not only that, we never got a baby. All I know is I wanted to fucking murder myself. I wrote in the what do you call it? The descriptor of what we talked about. I wrote, we actually were happy that he broke his arm when he was done telling whatever story he was talking about. We're like, oh, God. Oh. So painful. And then he wrote, God damn it, it must have been the medicine. You better hope it is. You'd better hope that it is the medicine. Oh, it's all a blur to me. All I remember is that inside of my brain, these alarms were going off. It's like, we got a Maureen. We got a code red Maureen. Shit. No, actually, Maureen compared to Adam the other day, Maureen is Cliff Notes. Adam is War and Peace. It was it was horrible. Phew. Ryan says, holy shit, those news articles on Reddit are right about you, Easy. You're the hardest working man in the universe. Side hustles galore. You got to do what you got to do. If you're going to have a hot tub, you're going to have to keep that thing maintained. You can't just own a hot tub and then not put chemicals in it. It's all about the hot tub. Okay? You got to do that. It is time to sign up for the Eric Zane Show Podcast Tournament Challenge. I will give this to you. I fucked it up. Let's see. Tournament challenge. Here we go. This is what you need to sign up for your brackets. Kenny says, I used to do that, but now I try to rush to the point as often as possible. All it amounts to is this. For those of you who aren't keeping score at home, you don't need to give me, like, there's one point Adam's talking about going from one hospital to another hospital and the reasons why. It's like, dude, you got to fucking leave this shit on the editing room floor. You got to snip, take that big chunk out and never speak of it again. You got to get right to the fucking. Because back in the what I mean by that is in the olden days when we had VCRs for our pornos, we would put them in, and then back then there was dialogue and an attempt at plot, and we just fast forward right to the fucking. You got to get to the fucking. That's all the consumer wants. Get to the meat of the story. For fuck's sake, get to the fucking. All that build up and all that. No. Trust me on this one. Oh. Anyway, where was I? Tournament challenge. I have, you all will come in second. Or you all will fight for second because I'm going to win it. I have one number one seed making it to the Final Four. First of all, let me get to this portion of it because it's concerning Michigan State. Fucking Izzo somehow manages, after a horrible season, barely getting in. This time next week, we will be talking about Izzo getting into the Sweet 16 as they will squeak by Mississippi State. And then Michigan State is going to take out number 1 seeded North Carolina. Yeah, that's happening this coming weekend. And then Michigan State will play Alabama, 4th seeded Alabama. Alabama will beat Michigan State and get to the Elite Eight. Alabama will lose to Arizona, who kind of steamroll their way on into that round. And that means Arizona goes to the Final Four, where they will face the 2nd seeded Iowa State Cyclones, who get by South Dakota State, then Drake, then number 3 Illinois. Iowa State and Auburn play for the right to go to the Final Four, which Iowa State will win. Now, in the Midwest, how about those Volunteers? As Tennessee beats the shit out of St. Peter's, 15th seeded St. Peter's, number 2 Tennessee. Then Tennessee will beat UVA/CSU, which I don't know what that is, who they upset Texas. Tennessee will then beat Creighton, who will have beaten Akron, and then they beat South Carolina. Tennessee will face, in the Elite Eight, number 1 seeded Purdue, who will beat the fuck out of MTST/Graham. Don't know what that is. And then Purdue will beat Utah State. Gonzaga will face Tennessee. Tennessee will win to go to the Final Four. Tennessee will face Iowa State in the national championship in a few weeks. And Tennessee will win it all. It'll be the only perfect bracket in existence. And I will go down with legendary status for my ability to do this. I couldn't tell you the name of the only college basketball player whose name I know, because on the free podcast, I told you that I didn't even know the name of any college basketball player. I do know one. Steven Izzo. And the only reason why I know Steven Izzo is because he's Tom Izzo's adopted son. Tom Izzo has 2 adopted kids. I think Tom Izzo's shooting blanks. Anyway, he wanted to spend more time with the son, so he quote unquote earned a walk-on spot on the team, and basically he helps with practice. That's what Steven Izzo does. So there you go. That's what's going to happen. Ryan says he's going to win it. Maureen says, go green. I love March Madness. Anything can happen. Kenny says, must be exciting if you care anything about basketball. March Madness is Super Bowl level of intensity, in my opinion. It's ridiculous. I don't give a shit about any of those teams. I don't even know any of those fucking players. All I need to know is that if there's a minute left in the game, watch it. That's all you need to know. Linda says the ones with the slashes are the play-in games. Oh, I get it. So they're not okay. Now I get it. Thank you. She says that made me laugh out loud. Linda says, you know how Izzo found his son with the help of Nick Saban? Oh, I didn't know that. Found him? What do you mean? Like looked for the through like adoption agencies? Maureen says Izzo's daughter is not adopted. Okay, there we go. I didn't know. Well, I got my info from my son-in-law, Jussie. He said, I think Tom Izzo's shooting blanks, but obviously not. Well, anyway, I gave you that link, and then you go there and you fill out your bracket. You're only allowed one, and have at it. You got to get that shit done by Thursday. The first game that's playing that's going on is the Michigan State game. The very first game of the tournament, 12:15 Thursday, Michigan State against Mississippi State. I can't tell you how happy I am that I don't have to do the huge show. That was so much pressure doing the huge show because I don't know. I can't pull it off. It just, I felt like at the end of that thing last week that I was like, God damn it, I am just scraping the bottom of the barrel here. And I was tired. Oh, was I tired. I'm just happy that it's over. Too much. I gotta relax. I gotta relax by going to work at Bosco's. I have an update for you on the dude up north. We talked about it on the free podcast. Who the author, Dominic Fuller, went into the kindergarten class and they said, hey, here's author Dominic Fuller and his book, CC and the Sheriff. Kid's book. Hey, everybody, I'm Dominic Fuller. This is my book, CC and the Sheriff, and I'm going to read it to you. And they go, oh, yay. And he reads this cute little book. That's it, leaves. And then the priest who's in charge of it, in charge of this school, because it's a Catholic school, he then goes on Facebook and says, I'm really sorry that we had someone who is a sinner or some shit like that, or who doesn't uphold our values. The guy was gay, you know? And so he didn't come out into the class and say, hey, kids, I'm gay, and this is my gay book. It was completely out of context. And the priest, lit into the guy on the church's Facebook page or the school's Facebook page. So make matters worse, the guy was on TV talking about how bad it made him feel. And he's dying. The guy's got ALS. Nick writes, stay tuned for the sequel. Cece calls the wambulance. Oh, no. I don't know, man. I feel pretty bad for that guy. I mean, sure, you're tough as nails, but Dominic might not be. I mean, you can't do that. And besides, the guy's going to die. That's kind of ugly, Nick. I'm surprised at you. No, I'm not. Anyway, there's an update.
I came into a classroom to share the joy and love that I have for what I created and why my sexuality.
Yeah, Nick, what the fuck is wrong with you, you asshole?
Has anything to do with that. Anything. And it makes me mad.
A Michigan author deeply hurt by a priest's comments. New tonight, continuing coverage.
Nick, have you ever been hurt, for fuck's sake, you dirty asshole?
On a story we first brought you Thursday, an apology from a Beale City priest over the reading of a children's book by a gay man. Now some parishioners of the St. Joseph the Worker Church and School are calling for the priest to resign. Fox 17 Sam Landstra talked.
Her head is too small for that much hair. Something's off with that. I don't know what it is.
With the woman representing that movement.
The resignation of Father Tom Held ought to be imminent, said a parishioner and a parent who sends her kids to St. Joseph. But her dissatisfaction with the priest didn't start this week. She says the apology was the final straw.
Father's job is to welcome everybody. Because of the comment, it has gone wild.
So I'm guessing that if Nick went to that church, it's got to be like, yeah, let's go. Let's go and weed out these gays, Nick.
It didn't need to be.
That comment, a Facebook post from Father Tom Held on the church page.
So, basically the priest apologized for having one of the gays read the book.
The priest said on Wednesday, a guest who does not represent the values of our Catholic faith recently read his book to a pre-K class at St. Joseph the Worker School. While its contents were, quote, appropriate, he said a new vetting policy would prevent anything of the sort from happening again.
I wonder what that vetting process is. So if they're If another author comes in, does the priest say, so I need to know, do you suck dick? Are you gay? I mean, imagine that.
I don't think it needed to take place. I think it was an internal matter.
The post, presumably made because of the author's sexuality.
He just came in to talk, and I don't think it was necessary to call him out for that.
The way he made me feel like I'm a predator.
And then to top it all off, this guy's 1 year into an ALS diagnosis. That's why it's affecting his speech. This poor son of a bitch.
Or like a convict or something coming into the school.
In a Thursday interview with Fox 17, Thrasher, too, called for Held's job.
It's for a second. He made me want to stop.
I can't believe Nick at the arena is such a stone-cold, heartless prick. He can't get behind this guy.
I didn't want to do it.
And for once, when we were playing this story, I'm glad I didn't say anything, because when he was talking, I thought, man, this guy talks fucked up. I might have to make fun of him. I'm so glad I didn't, because that would have been horrible.
That day, St. Joseph canceled school over reaction to the apology. And on Friday, 79 students stayed home, including Johnson's children.
I think that a resignation or a removal is the only necessary and the only outcome that can happen.
That's not going to happen. Catholic priests can put his dick in 100 assholes of children and not get moved.
In a one-page request for resignation, members of the school and church community detail concerns over the father's ability to represent the values of the parishioners, saying he's historically shown a lack of engagement and support for the children.
Shied us away from wanting to come to church by things that he's said and things that he's done.
The Saginaw Diocese also releasing a statement Friday, saying the bishop has reached out to Thrasher and the superintendent of schools plans to be in Beale City Monday.
This is just what kind of pushed, I think, the parents and the parishioners over the top.
What led to the letter may impact the school's bottom line.
By the way, this reporter, really needs to work on his delivery. Oh my God.
Too, as Johnson says donors of an April fundraising auction have pulled out. They want to see change at the top.
And we want
I wouldn't have used the term pulled out in this story.
Him to be removed so that we can move forward as a community and restore the faith in everybody.
Now, this afternoon, I tried to contact St. Joseph the Worker Church, but could not reach them. Their offices are closed on Saturday. For now in studio, Sam Lanstra, Fox 17 News.
Yeah, they got to go there. Okay, we got to get back to old school news reporting. Bust out the old Susan Samples style. If the extent of your work as a TV journalist is just call on a Saturday, bullshit. There's already there's always vigil mass, usually 4, 4:30, 5 o'clock, and you just wait. And then the priest will be greeting the parishioners. Have a good week. Bless, peace be with you. All that. And then you go, hey, Father, what do you have to say to me now? Yeah, you got to do that deal. And Ryan says what I was just saying. Yeah, this Poindexter of a kid reporter certainly isn't a Susan Samples. Linda says, let's discuss the priest's sexuality next. Oh, yeah, you know that guy's been balls deep in kid. Chris is not much better than Nick. He writes, yeah, Nick, just because he's a rump ranger doesn't mean he can't read a book, you assholes. You know, there's a lot of wonderful people that I love very much. I listen to this goddamn show who are gay, and you two assholes, I can't condone that shit. What the fuck? Anyway, I hate this story. I fucking hate that priest. I hope that son of a bitch dies. Fuck that priest. All right, moving on. These three ladies are taking a bike ride, and a fucking mountain lion comes out of nowhere and starts chewing on the face of one of these three people. She musters up the strength to pin the mountain lion down. I'm not even kidding you. Look at this. The lady in the purple, that mountain lion was eating her face. Woman pinned cougar during hand-to-hand combat to save friend trapped in its jaws. So I guess this is the chick that was getting her face chewed on by the cougar. And one of these two did the deed. I think this woman in the middle might have lesbo strength. If that's the case, she can kick tons of ass. Because I know my daughter, she's like stronger than me. And that's why I say to her, I go, my God, you have lesbian strength. And she goes, I know, I could kick your ass. I go, I know, Jesus Christ. All right.
They're amazing.
Carrie, Annie, and Tish are competitive cyclists and have been riding together for at least 5 years. But on February 17th, a ride would turn into a fight for Carrie's life.
And the attack just happened.
Wait a minute. Let me
so
back
fast.
that up.
17th, a ride would turn into a fight for Carrie.
I think that's the cougar underneath the bike. Yeah. The chick standing has already had her face eaten off, and the cougar is being pinned underneath the bike somehow.
Carrie's life.
And the attack just happened so fast.
A group of 5 women started riding.
That looked like a female version of Woody Allen there. Wow.
A group of 5 women started riding from Tish's home in North Bend and made it to Cocoa Creek Trail near Snoqualmie. Then 19 miles.
Yeah, we don't need those details. So who's this? Fucking young Adam Schwab telling the story?
Miles into their ride, 2 cougars ran out from the brush. One kept going into the woods. The other lunged at Carrie.
From the time we saw the cougars to the time it took Carrie off her bike was about.
She looks like she could be a orc in the Lord of the Rings, but wouldn't need makeup.
3 seconds. 1 second, I'll say. So we didn't have a chance to face off with them to scare them away or anything.
I just remember getting tackled from this side and then ending up at the other side of the road.
I immediately tried to choke the cougar, which was like choking a rock.
The women used sticks and a large rock to try to get the cougar off Carrie, but it had her face clenched in its jaw.
I knew every second what was going on, and I was doing my own, poking at it and trying to poke his eyeballs out and get up his nose and pry his mouth with my hand.
15 minutes into the battle, a small
15 minutes? She's in that thing's mouth for 15 minutes?
moment of release, and Carrie was able to get away. The group managed to get a bike on top of the cougar and hold it down until help arrived.
Carrie's just laying there by herself, and we just kept saying, are you doing okay? And she would just give us a little bloody thumbs up that she was doing okay.
A fish and wildlife officer got there and shot and killed the young cougar.
Oh, God damn it! I was hoping the cougar wouldn't get killed.
Carrie suffered severe damage to her face and permanent nerve damage, but says thanks to her friends, she made it out alive.
I think it's the epitome of
I feel bad for the cougar.
true friendship and love.
Why do I feel bad for the cougar? I should feel bad for that chick.
Action.
I know for a fact I would be dead if they didn't come back in. I would just be gone.
We just did what we had to do, and part of it was just primal instinct. Just get in there and fight.
Mama
fight
bears.
for a life. So
Yeah, but the cougar wasn't going to take us cougars down.
Get it? They're cougars. You hear that, guys? Cougars. Yeah, it's actually quite fantastic. Linda says, I hope she didn't hurt the cougar. Exactly. That's what I said. Man, yeah, that's kind of a bummer. Let's see. Chris is here after this horrible gay slur. Kenny says, I really never know which Chris is which except for Zoom. Okay, Chris Perry is in Buffalo. And he is not anti-gay. He was just making a fucking smart-ass comment. Nick, I don't think, is anti-gay. That he didn't say anything anti-gay. Nick didn't say anything anti-gay. He just said The guy's crying. He was, he was like a crybaby. The guy, the ALS guy. Aaron says, why would you cycle in cougar country without a firearm? Bob says it's just nature doing nature things. Exactly. All right. Okay. I was going to get to the story about the grandma who got impaled by the forklift, but there's really not a lot to it because they don't have the detail. All I know is that grandma was working at the Wal Mart and she got impaled by a forklift. What a way to go. Heartbroken Texas family seeking answers after grandma was impaled by a forklift at a Walmart distribution center. 68-year-old mom of 4, grandmother of 13. Jesus. The bereaved family learned of the incident on the news. Said the family's lawyer. Oh, boy. Danielle Rio's granddaughter turned on the TV, and that's how she found out. This is the look of a family that is about to get millions, tens of millions of dollars. That's why this one here is smiling. These two are loving this, apparently. Everybody else is upset. These two are having a good time, I guess. Grandma was killed by a fucking forklift. Chris says Walmart has deep pockets. Ryan says the way you said grandma at first reminded me immediately of grandma walking in on that kid eating a vagina. Anyway, the family's talking about how great she was, of course. All sorts of pictures of her doing great things. Walmart said they're withholding comment. Family is saying, why wasn't I notified? I am her emergency contact. Why did I find out on the news? I'd say that's worth $50 million right there. Walmart reps say they're conducting an internal investigation. Well, yeah, the investigation is somebody was careless with the fucking forklift. Our deepest condolences go out to Elena's family. We're conducting an internal investigation cooperating with OSHA. So, yeah, this is one of those weirdo OSHA deaths where they investigate and, kind of like Bumblebee Tuna or perhaps the guy who fell into the thresher or the lady whose head got ripped off in the potato chip machine at the Lay's factory. So all things that have happened to real people. That's a horrible way to die. You got impaled by a forklift. Jesus. Awful. A lot of terrible news on this show today. Overall, a great success. Chris says forklift operator is going to need some remedial training. Chris says Walmart will end up saying she didn't have the proper PPE on or something stupid. My God. Grandma's a martyr. Family's going to be rich. Look at my wound. Blistered up. It's kind of cool, actually. It's like I got a brand. Scarred for life on my first day of the insane asylum. All right, that's it, folks. I'll talk to you tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. for another River Roaring edition of the Insane Asylum on Q100 Michigan. Download the Q100 Michigan app and listen to the show. Until next time, have a good one. Thank you. That was dumb. Yeah, the podcast is coming up at whatever time, and then I start early. That's rare. Typically, doesn't it go like I say one time, and then like 15 minutes after the fact? By the way, I'm wearing the same gear today that I wore yesterday. And this phenomena happens once in a while where, I go all day, grind, bedtime, clothes come off, throw them right next to me on the side of the bed. And then I wake up, grab said clothes, and off we go. So that tells you that, but the only thing that I'll change is underwear. I'll actually change the underwear, which is excellent. I mean, you don't want filthy underwear, for God's sake. But all right. The big news to start off is our pal Bendr Bones is in the news. Maureen asks, how's your burned arm? It's some of the skin came off. There was some blistering and such. But yeah, it still is a little bit tender, but it looks worse than how it feels. Some of it got the blister treatment, other parts did not. Bendr Bones from Satanic Temple, West Michigan, will be opening up the Ottawa County Commission meeting with a prayer, with a Satanic Temple, West Michigan prayer. Now, I don't think you could get the folks at Satanic Temple, West Michigan to tell you that they actually have nothing to do with Satan, but I believe they have nothing to do with Satan. To me, it's all a big satire to illustrate that religion can be foolish. Organized religion can be foolish in a particular way. And they use this is just my theory, to try to illustrate about equality. Because if you read the tenets of what they believe in, it's all very noteworthy and sweet and kind and treating others with respect. It's not like Prince of Darkness, shit like that. So I that's my theory. These are all just people that are a lot different than what I am, dress differently, behave differently. That whole different culture thing. And they're teaching us to be more tolerating of people who are different. That is essentially what they're suggesting right there. I don't know if the people around here are smart enough to pick up on it, because most people where I live are super dumb, just dense. My God. But take a look at this. This is the big statement. Oops, what am I doing? What is wrong with me? Come on now. Idiot. Bendr posted, the Satanic Temple, West Michigan, is proud to announce that our ministry has been selected to give an opening invocation at the Ottawa County Commission. We are excited to represent our growing community by taking part in the tradition of invocation. Now, I hope he goes full on dark Satan with this. Really lean into it, because that will make those people squirm. The only reason why this is happening, if you remember, Bendr came out of the woodwork when Ottawa County became what's known as a constitutional county, and talked about how they will be having the invocation at the start of the meetings. And so it was all the Christian right people that are friends of the commission that were doing the invocation. Bendr was the one who started to bang the drum about, you're going to get sued if you don't let me up here. And then there was another leader of the Episcopalian Church, same thing, actually filed a lawsuit. And he agreed to withdraw it when they said, all right, you can come in and do the invocation. But then when the guy from the Episcopal Church was up there, one of the commissioners had a message on his laptop that was open about one of these, wacko fear-mongering, quote-unquote, pseudo-documentaries about child trafficking and all this shit, because these are the same people who think that if you go to a drag show, you want your child to get trafficked, that people who are into drag are pedophiles rather than performers. I think I'm feeling more and more that the people that voted for people like the Ottawa County Commission are turning on them. I need look no further than my pal Matt Hubbard, who, a year ago was like, I love Ottawa Impact. And now he's like, fuck that shit. Because the only thing that's worse would be blowing all these Dutch people's money. And that's what's happening in beautiful Ottawa County. So this is just awesome. I cannot wait. This person wrote, this is wonderful. Fuck Joe Moss. Fuck Ottawa Impact. Bah, ha, ha, ha. Love it. Maximum chaos. I love being a constitutional county. Freedom of speech, freedom of religion. So good. Do we have a date and time? It says following. People are going to shit a fit, and I hope that Bendr takes a chance to use the invocation to point out that it's more about the ability to have different beliefs from one another and still have equal rights and treatment under law than it is particularly about Satan, which is my understanding could be off. The Satanic Templar's suggestions to live by are more realistic than the 10 Commandments. There was one on here that I guess somebody read the tenets to someone and said, yeah, that's the way to live. And then said, yeah, that's the local, that's the Satanic Temple, West Michigan. Oh, my God. Really, really great. So I can't wait to see how that goes. That's going to be a big one. That'll be a big day when Bendr is there. I hope he comes in with devil face and black cape, says Maureen. I hope he comes up with... We got to show up. We got to show support for Bendr. Have like the light up red Highway to Hell AC/DC horns. Oh, my God. Hang on, I got to finish this coffee. All right, so the timing is a little bit off on this show. I still want to get this done earlier than what I am right now. I can do a better job of this. And I'll get there. But being that we're 2 days in, and other than just getting stuff done a little bit later, because really on a normal week, I would kind of get this stuff done at about this time, or a normal day, a day previous to what I'm doing right now. So this isn't really all that bad. I feel pretty great about it, actually. Yesterday was bizarre because it was around 3 or 4 o'clock. And I was a little tired, but not overly tired. And I kind of was like, I should lay down. I should lay down and rest. Because I wasn't sure if I should lay down and rest. I was like, when in doubt, I should rest. I really should go rest. And so I laid down. And fuck, did I crash. Oh, my God. I mean, it was ridiculous. I haven't slept like that in the day in more than 5 years, because when I used to work in radio, that was a regular thing. I would come home and I would usually take a nap. And typically, when I would lay down, I'd just be sitting looking at the phone, and then in about 3 minutes, my eyes started to get heavy. And I was like, okay, fuck this. Put the phone down. Gone. Just gone. That happened yesterday for the first time in forever. And I don't think it has to do with getting up early, because I'm really not getting up that much earlier. In fact, I suspect that once we get into like a groove, I'll actually be rolling out of bed probably at like 5:30, there's not a ton of heavy lifting to do on the Insane Asylum, Q100 Michigan with Eric Zane. Let's be honest here. I'm not reinventing the wheel. Not a ton of prep that goes into it. At least not yet. Maybe down the road, but I mean, come on now. If it's a music-intensive show, the music does most of the heavy lifting. I think the best thing I can do is entertain the requests that I get. So it's really not that much earlier. It all depends on what time I get to bed. And the previous night, I just couldn't sleep. So, a local woman, 20 years ago, her baby died. 11-month-old baby died. Police investigate. They go, hey, she shook her baby to death. Lock this chick up. And she was arrested. The evidence was gathered. And they found her guilty. And she was convicted of murdering her baby. Well, they found out through advances in technology that she did not. The child had pneumonia. Now, I don't know how you could, I mean, it was only 20 years ago. So it's 2000, I think it was 2002, 2003 that it all went down. Typically I would think that the type of injury that a child would sustain from a violent moment, like they said the mother, which she didn't do, did to the child, would result in a certain type of injury through a physical moment like that. Way different than if the child has pneumonia. But they found out that the child died of pneumonia not that long ago, so she's out of jail. I'm like, how the fuck could that even be? Well, now, rightfully, she is suing the Battle Creek, Michigan police for their inept work. Before I get to that, Nick writes concerning Q100 Michigan, do we text the request while you're on the air? Sure. You can text it in. You can send it to me via email. You can tell me right now, and I'll write it down. Aaron says, any feedback from the Northerners yet? They seem to like me, which was part of the plan. You know, don't do anything to alienate yet. Maybe that comes later. I don't know. All right. So audio check, video check. This chick is suing the police. Hold on a minute. I'm doing this wrong. This is all screwed up. I thought I had it, but I did not. Well, pardon me. Okay, I'm glad I caught that. That would have been really embarrassing.
Is suing Battle Creek police after she spent 18 years in prison for her daughter's death. Science cleared her 2 years ago.
Hey, everybody, it's your old pal EZ to talk about one of my amazing partners, Mint Mobile. Mint Mobile's done it right, you know. If you're like a sucker who's trapped paying tons of money to big wireless, it's time to end that cycle. You see, with big wireless, what you see is never what you get. Somewhere between the store and your first month's bill, the price you thought you were paying magically skyrockets. I've seen this happen so many times, especially with Pooh Bear, when she breaks her phone and gets a new one. Oh, yeah, it's only going to cost me this much. And get home, and it's a complete disaster. I need a personal loan to pay the bill. With Mint Mobile, you'll never have to worry about the gotchas ever again. When Mint Mobile says $15 a month when you purchase a 3-month plan, they mean it. Okay, Mint Mobile is here to rescue you with premium wireless plans. I do this, and you should too. My bill went from astronomical to $15 a month for my phone. All plans come with high-speed data and unlimited talk and text delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. The game is up for Big Wireless. We are on to you. To get this new customer offer and your new 3-month premium wireless plan for just $15 a month, go to mintmobile.com/Zane. That's mintmobile.com/Zane. Cut your wireless bill to $15 a month at mintmobile.com/Zane. $45 upfront payment required. That's equivalent to $15 a month. New customers on first 3-month plan only. Speeds slower, over 40 gig on unlimited plan, but you'll be fine. Additional taxes, fees, and restrictions apply. See Mint Mobile for details. Ladies and gentlemen, your old pal EZ with a few words about my latest and greatest partner, Prize Picks, America's #1 daily fantasy sports app with over 5 million active members. My goodness. Prize Picks, what I love is the easiest and most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports, and all you do is pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections and watch the winnings roll in. Check this out. One. Caleb Williams' passing yard gets you 1 win on Prize Picks every week in the month of September. That's right. Only 1 yard gets you an automatic win every football weekend in September. 4 weeks of free W's. Don't miss this deal on Prize Picks because it's gone when September ends. Now, you can win up to 100 times your money on Prize Picks with as little as 4 correct picks. Also, good news, Prize Picks is the best way to get action on sports in most states, including California, Texas, and Georgia. Prize Picks is the only real money daily fantasy platform with an injury insurance policy so that your lineups stay in play even if one of your players gets injured. If your player leaves in the first half and doesn't return, your picks are still alive. How about this for a lineup? Tyreek Hill for more than 90 receiving yards. Dak Prescott for more than 263 passing yards. Josh Allen for less than 240 passing yards. And CeeDee Lamb for more than 96 receiving yards. Then you watch, you root, you have fun. Download the Prize Picks app today and use code Eric Zane and get $50 instantly when you play $5. That's code Eric Zane, of course, on Prize Picks to get $50 instantly when you play $5. You don't even need to win to receive the $50 bonus. It's guaranteed. Prize Picks. Run your game.
News 8's David Horak is following this case in studio for us. He joins us now. David, what do we know about this?
Well, Teresa and Donovan, Tanya Miller filed the lawsuit on Friday. Back in 2002, she was 19 years old when a jury found her guilty of shaking her baby Alicia to death. But then,
can you imagine your child dies tragically? That is horrible enough, but they think you did it. And no matter what you say, you're guilty, and you have to think about your little child, your 11-month-old child that died. You can't even mourn. Oh, my God.
Then in 2021, science proved that her daughter actually died from pneumonia that was undiagnosed at the time. She's now suing the city of Battle Creek, Kalamazoo County, and several individuals, saying that they violated state law and her constitutional rights. The federal lawsuit claims that the medical examiner, who is one of the co-defendants, incorrectly determined Alicia's death was not caused by her medical issues, and that CPS and forensic pathologists ignored clear indications available from medical history, Tanya's statements, and evidence pointing towards natural causes. It later argues that Tanya never admitted she shook Alicia and that she was coerced into giving a fabricated statement based on fabricated evidence.
I'm going to pause it right there. That's interesting to me because if someone said I killed my kid and I didn't, there is no way under any circumstances that you would be able to coerce me into saying anything other than the truth. It's impossible. In fact, if I'm sitting across from an investigator and they say, you killed your baby, if I have a hand free, I'm going to punch him in the fucking face. I've never understood how a person could do that. can actually somehow be. I don't get it. I believe that it happened. I just can't wrap my mind around the whole idea of somehow a detective brainwashing you to confessing to something that you didn't do.
A note that Kalamazoo County, not Calhoun County, is listed as a co-defendant since the medical examiner worked in that jurisdiction at the time of the investigation.
I wish it would stop showing from the neck down footage of this little child playing. It's breaking my heart.
Yeah. Miller's attorney filed a total of 8 charges against the different defendants, including due process, federal malicious prosecution, and conspiracy to deprive constitutional rights. He demands that the court take this to a jury trial. Teresa?
Wow. This should be a lawsuit. I mean, think about that. What type of dollar amount could you put on that? You were wrongly convicted. You were sent away. You were sent up the river for extended time. You're not guilty. I can't even begin to try to understand that one. Here you are now in your late 30s. I guess life's, at the end of the day, I think that is worth $100 million. I would be okay with $100 million. My God. Kenney says, how did they prove this so many years later? Yeah, they kind of glossed over that, Kenney. I think that that's very interesting because a shaken death is so unbelievably different than a death by pneumonia. There's so much to this I need to know. Maureen says, I think I'd off myself. No, they didn't say. Chris says sleep deprivation, and they are allowed to lie to you. It doesn't matter. I would never do it. If they lied to me and said, yeah, your whole family has turned on you, they all said that you killed, I'd say, well, then I'll fight them too. Fuck you too. Jesus. Well, anyway, big money should be coming her way. How horrible. That actually scares the shit out of me. A wrongful conviction. The latest victim of the EV craze that is starting to die, thank God, is the guy who runs Hertz rental cars. Hertz brought this dude in, and they said, all right, the company's coming out of bankruptcy. How are we going to turn this around? And this guy said, by the way, Kenney says it's weird they didn't cover that. That actually this is a 2-year-old story that she was exonerated. That might have been why. She was exonerated 2 years ago, but the lawsuit is coming to forth now. So maybe that's why. Kenney says, it made me wonder, did they dig up or exhume the little baby's body? And what led them to doing that, if so? Yeah, great question. I'll do a little follow-up when the show gets done and perhaps come back tomorrow with further update as to what is going on. So the guy who runs Hertz, they bring him in, and he's going to fix the company. Company's coming out of bankruptcy. He's like, I got just the thing. Everybody's going EV. EV is the way to go. So let's buy put in tons of orders from all the car companies and just make our whole fleet EVs. Well, okay, so they do it. And then people step up to the counter to get their Ford Focus. And they go, hey, wouldn't it be great to have no fuel costs? Just... you got your EV, and people go, no, thanks. They always try to upcharge you. I remember I went to Hertz one time. It was last year. I went to Florida, and somehow I fell for that fucking scam. I had like a Camry or something, and the next thing I know, I'm driving away in a fucking Dodge Challenger. I'm like, why am I even in this car? Those are cool cars, but I'm like, why did I do this? What the fuck is wrong with me? So Hertz, they buy all these fucking EVs, and right now they're trying to sell them all back. It's just, part of the story is that they're trying to liquidate 20,000 EVs that they have because they're just sitting there. No one wants them. No one is interested in getting an EV. I know if I've never driven an EV and they say, you want an EV? And I'll be like, how does it work again? I mean, I have to go somewhere to charge it up, right? Well, yeah, how far are you driving? Well, I'll be probably driving 300 miles. Yeah, you're going to need a charge. You got to go to this place and stick it in there, and then you wait, rapid charge. Nah, I'll just take the gas. No, it's okay. You see, we're not at a point where the world cares enough about the climate. Now, if today I start my car, and then because I did that, I'm the actual straw that breaks a camel's back. I start up the truck, and then the next thing I know, the atmosphere catches on fire. And 50 million people die because I started my truck, and they can prove it. Then I think that's a reason to, I'm actually going to die if I keep driving this thing. Then I think I'd be interested. But I don't think that anybody cares enough to really want to do that. And it's completely unrealistic to think that this is even possible for our grid to support electricity. Like if they waved a magic wand and everybody had an EV, the strain on the electricity is more than can be tolerated. I mean, hell, in some parts of the country, just people having their air conditioners on is enough to cause brownouts and blackouts, let alone you're using a process that uses a hell of a lot more energy than keeping a household lit for a day. It's ridiculous to even think that there's a possibility that we'd be even able to pull this off. There are some parts of the country where they have a plan to completely abolish combustion vehicles by a certain day, like some point in California in the future. The very near future, I don't know the exact date, but they passed a law that all vehicles must be EVs. It's like, are you fucking crazy? There's no way that's possible. Nick says, I'm considering a plug-in hybrid, commute on electric, but still have full gas range. I keep hearing that term, plug-in hybrid. Plug-in hybrid versus hybrid. From Car and Driver, pros and cons. Well, I don't want to break it down now. I'll read it and then give you the Cliff Notes version. But the practicality of EV vehicles is shit. You get these people that try to tow anything with them, and their range is cut way down. So I've never bought into that. That's just a stupid thing to even consider. And now it's already starting to fade. So the reason why this comes up is because this dude from Hertz, they fired him. Well, he had to resign because everything busted. The whole EV thing is starting to bust right now. And this guy, Stephen Scher, led the company out of bankruptcy and said, the only way we're going to get out of bankruptcy is if we go to all electric vehicles. Well, last month, Hertz announced its biggest quarterly loss in years. And it's because no one wants to rent an EV vehicle. Why would you do that? It's ridiculous. That's the one thing that I just can't get behind that. Plug-in hybrids have 60 to 80 miles of all electric range, but still have gas engines that take over when needed. Ah, I see. Yeah, because hybrids it's always competing between battery powered and gas powered. And then my gas power and my braking power charges the battery. I wonder if plug-in hybrids do that, or is it just uses the battery and then once the battery's done, then it goes to the regular motor. Ryan says, I've already paid an ungodly amount for electricity. As these assholes plug in their cars, my electric bill is only going to get bigger. Kenney says the plan to completely get rid of combustion vehicles will never happen. Aaron says not even close to possible. So many people would be shocked how close some of our communities come to catastrophic meltdown just in the summer months. Now, I do know this about Aaron. He speaks from a place of experience. That's all I can say about this. Aaron has a vast knowledge and an excellent handle on energy consumption. He knows a thing or two. Trust me on this. I know that. But I can't really say what. He's an energy baron. Kenney writes, hey, this is all stuff I've been saying for years. EVs are not the future with the way we have everything set up currently for electricity and whatnot. I don't know why I did your silly voice, because that's actually makes perfect sense. Ryan says, can you imagine the monthly cost of having to charge an EV on top of running a hot tub? Sweet Jesus. Oh, that's only the half of it. Now, the latest thing is this. So, this heater for the pool has been out of commission. And it's true. I haven't. It's good that it has. But the pool has a gas heater on it. And it malfunctioned, and I never fixed it because it cost a goddamn arm and a leg to heat that pool. So, I was thinking we get a new heater for the pool. Now, once it's said like that, the only thing you can do is maybe she'll forget. It'll just leave her mind somehow. But typically, if it comes up like that, you're kind of fucked. So I fully expect Jeremy out the door from Jennison Pool and Spa Depots, because it's not like we have discussions. I'll show up and then he'll be working on it. Oh my God. And then he'll be installing this new gas heater. And you see, then we'll get a couple more months out of it. We could open it in like late March, April, and then we could keep it open till October. And then we could just swim, like a couple of water babies. It'd be excellent. Just go in the pool. I was like, what the fuck? What are we doing? It's fine. It's fine. I'm telling you, I don't want to be single. But if I was, 1,000 square foot house, no AC, I'd probably have a wood burning stove. Remarkable. I would so lean into that. I would be a millionaire on like $35,000 a year, because I would save so much money. Ryan writes, I was a bit unprepared for how much electricity a hot tub really uses, and it's been a warm winter. That's right. Ryan's got a hot tub. Amy says, so basically make your pool a giant hot tub. Oh, absolutely. You wouldn't believe how warm that thing gets. Ryan says you should just live at the fear bunker. Frankly, it's come up. I said, honey, what do you say we move up there? Fuck that. I don't know. What do I know? I'm just an idiot. Okay. I love you. I'm going to cut it. And I'll talk to you tomorrow. Well, you'll hear me on the radio. Oh, wait a minute. Great question. Aaron says, because I have an update. Any progress on new family members moving in? That would be Mimi. Now she's not. And I said to Dan, I go, what's going on? She goes, well, she changes her mind a lot. I go, okay. So I don't understand, though. She reached out to you because she was super lonely. Yeah. I go, okay. And there's plenty of activity around here. Her dog died. Mimi's dog died. And I go, well, we got that covered. She can sleep with a dog. She can sleep with a different dog nearly every day of the week. We have so many dogs around here. I'm here all the time. Kevin's here all the time. She loves like cleaning and shit. I go, there's plenty of stuff for her to clean. That can be like how she pays for it. She can clean a different thing every day. I don't give a fuck. There's plenty of shit to clean around here. She can help me clean up Kevin's shit. She thought about it and said, I'm not going to do it. And Diana says, why? She says, well, I got my cat. And Diana goes, well, who gives a fuck? So do we. Yeah, but the cats don't like pets. My cats don't like dogs. And Diana says, all cats don't like dogs, you asshole. Our cats don't like dogs either. So you know what they do? They go downstairs to the whole goddamn basement. There's cat trees all over the place. The whole basement is like a cat parkour fucking shop, whatever they call them. I don't think they're called parkour shops. Cats can do parkour downstairs. There's trees everywhere. They can scratch posts, the whole deal. No, I don't want to do it. And the fact that she could sell her condo and live here virtually free. Now she's going to go and find another place to live and have to pay rent. I'm like, all right, fine. I said to her, I go, Diana, your family, no offense. These are stupid people. I have, when it comes, you are the outlier. You were the only one who is not a moron. You and your mother. Your brothers are dumb as shit. They do stupid shit. And now you're this is fucking ridiculous. Move in. Now she likes her privacy. She's got it. The whole wing of the house is hers. The fuck is wrong with you? I don't know. And Diana said, well, she might think it over and later on, if the cat goes to the Rainbow Bridge, she'll move in. I go, this is stupid. This is so dumb. What is wrong with these people? All right. That's going to do it. Thank you. I will be on the radio with you tomorrow. Hey, download that app, Q100 Michigan app, and then say hello to me, 231-237-4267, of what song you want to hear. And we'll go from there. Thank you for checking out the show and continuing to support me on all these platforms. You guys are awesome. Thanks so much. Bye-bye. Welcome into the Eric St. Show podcast, Patreon bonus, a daily show where I discuss news, nonsense, and my personal adventures. So that's right, baby. Tony Gates. I have Tony Gates, a Tony Gates update for you. I have some Tony Gates tea. In case you don't know, when I was on the air on WBBL after For Beer and Hot Wings, station across the hall was WLAV. Tony's been there for a long time. He's an arrogant prick. Michelle had said to me, he's an arrogant prick. I wish you'd have gotten the job because you got fired right about the time that he was in deep shit. And he was worried that they were going to fire him and you were going to replace him. And I'm like, God damn, that'd have been cool. But whatever. Tony stayed on for quite some time. I recently detailed with you, I think it was on this show, the time that I pissed him off because he was telling everybody it was his birthday. And I said, yeah, hey, buddy, it's Tony's birthday. And he said, fuck, you're fucking dead. Told me to go fuck myself. Unbelievable arrogance. Hey, sounds good, Tony. Yeah, I built it. I built the radio station, baby. He gets fired. Actually, I got fired, and then he ended up getting fired. And I'm very close with Michelle. So I get the firsthand account of how everybody hates him because he's such a cock. And shit goes down, and I get the gory details about the way it went down. And none of it is flattering for your old pal Tony Gates. So I'm like, well, fuck him. He told me to go fuck myself. On that alone, I can fuck with this guy. Kenney writes, who announces it's their birthday? Jeez, what a loser. So when I was on Big 101.3, I still am, every time the song You're So Vain by Carly Simon would come on. You're so vain. You probably think the song is about you. You're so vain. Incredible voice. I would go on the air and say, Tony Gates, it's going out to Tony Gates. You're so vain. And then I would just leave it right there. And this is before he got fired from LAV. And I hear Michelle said that he mentioned it, that he heard me doing that. So that meant that I have to keep doing it. So I have. By the way, she wrote that song about Warren Beatty. Carly Simon was getting boned by Warren Beatty. And then it went south, so she wrote that song about him. Great song. Legendary. Okay, so that ends. I've never stopped saying it. Every time I talk out of that song, Kenney says Faster Pussycat did a better version of that song. You should play it on Q100. Now that would be something. It's not out of the question. So, fast forward to recently, I went in to talk to Brett Hayes, Superfly Hayes, the producer of The Huge Show. I had done some work over there. I filled in. And he goes, oh, easy, I got to tell you the story. Because Bill was doing a show remotely on location at the local Outdoor Rama show. And Tony Gates happened to be there at the Outdoor Rama show. Now, Tony hasn't been on the air in years, but he knows a lot about the outdoors. And people still know his name. And did I tell you this story? For some reason, I remember telling you something Tony Gates related. No. I told you that he walked up to the folks from Impact Power Sports and said, hey, I want to work here. I'm still viable, baby. Which is embarrassing. Well, anyway, he was there while Bill was broadcasting. He just happened to be walking by, and Bill said, hey, Tony, let's get you on the air. And so Brett is back at the studio, and he can hear Bill talking to Tony off the air. The mic's right there. And so he's listening in on their conversation. And he goes, Eric, you won't believe what Tony Gates said. I go, yeah? And Tony knows that I'm affiliated with Bill. And so Tony goes, you know what, baby? Every time I turn on Big 101.3, I hear goddamn Eric Zane talking out of Carly Simon, You're So Vain, and dedicating it to me, baby. And he goes, and I've done nothing to that guy. I've never done anything to him. And it's like, well, no, you did. First of all, you're just generally a cock. So you've earned cock points to get that type of brushback pitch from just general cockery behavior. That alone is enough to have that happen. So that's problem one. Problem two, you voiced it to Michelle. Now I know it bugs you. You have now shown me where you're hiding your goat. I'm going to got your goat. I got your goat. And then number three, There's a whole litany of problems that went on during your departure from the radio station, as reported to me by others that are there. So on those people's behalf, I'm going to do that. Plus, let's not forget, let's go back to when you told me to go fuck myself. Because I said, Uncle Buck, Tony's birthday is today, did you hear? Which was joking. And you tell me to go fuck myself. Well, that's it. I mean, you only get to do that once. You told me to go fuck myself. I didn't tell you to tell me to go fuck myself. You did. Stevie says, cock points. Love it. Patrick says, Tony has some dusty roads going on. Oh, it's true. Linda says, cock points, opposite of Pooh Bear points. Absolutely. Linda says, did Carly Simon ever confirm that it was about Beatty? I guess I don't know. I guess I just heard that. Kenney has sent a link to the Spotify version of Faster Pussycat, You're So Vain. Let's check it out. I got to log in. I think this is it. I don't know my own login. It's probably wrong. What is wrong with you? You retarded butt fucking asshole. What an absolute pile of shit. God damn. And I see you're back to your old tricks. Continue it there. You got to cue in. Kenney even says, it is rather awful. Weren't you the one earlier that said Faster Pussycat did a better version of that song? You should play it on Q100. This is why I will never, ever trust you. Ever. You said it's better. It's a good song. You believed that. And now here we are. Coffee. That's fucking terrible. And now here he is saying, I didn't say that. I'm reading the comment. Faster Pussycat did a better version of that song. Should play it on Q100. That's your entry into the chat. You did say it. Oh, God. What an asshole. How embarrassing. And then you get the link and you send it. Negative Pooh Bear points for Kenney. Just terrible. Everything about this. God, Stevie says Hawk points for Kenney. Yeah, to even suggest that it is a good song. You're so vain, Carly Simon. Son of a gun. Now this is a song.
You walked into the party like you were walking onto a yacht. Your hat strategically dipped below one eye. Your scarf, it was apricot. You had one eye in the mirror as you watched yourself go out. And all the girls dreamed that they'd be your partner. They'd be your partner. And you're so vain. You probably think this song is about you. You're so vain. I bet you think this song is about you. Don't you? Don't you? Oh, you had me several years ago when I was still quite naive. When you said that we made
Wonderful lyrics.
pair.
Fantastic song. Wonderful lyrics. Incredibly written. Great melody. Expertly composed. Expertly produced. No problems with that song. Fuckhead writes, aha, this isn't rock and roll, though. It's boring. Yeah, because you have the attention span of a flea. In that 1 minute of music we played, the nuances there are absolutely incredible. It's a fantastic song. God damn, you are hideous. All right? You have the worst taste ever in everything. Music, video games, women. God, what is wrong with you? Terrible. Jeez. Brutal. Nick says the song stinks. Well, I know you're not referring to Carly Simon. That's she's one of the greatest songwriters ever to live. Kenney adds podcasts. That's true. That's true. No, Nick. If Nick's gonna get it, if he's gonna jump into the shit with fuckface Kenney about music, I took a suggestion from Nick today, and that's a perfect way to make me never want to play another one for him if he's gonna dog Carly Simon. Any of you morons that pigeonhole yourself and only listening to one kind of music, I don't even want to know you. You're disgusting humans. You're the worst. By the way, Carly Simon, I think she used to be a babe. I think she's like 100 years old now. Young Carly Simon. Hot. Yeah, she was cute. She might still be. I don't know. You never know. There she is. I like that look. She's got a weird mouth. Her mouth is kind of jacked. What's this all about? Jesus. She's got a giant mouth. Like her mouth is huge. Very pretty, but it's just a big mouth. I don't know if I can handle that mouth. She reminds me of redheaded B-lips with that huge-ass mouth. Maybe that's why she sings well. I don't know, but she's got an enormous mouth. Okay. Carly Simon now. Simon now. Oh, she's still very attractive. Very cute. Well, I don't know about that. Oh, boy. Maybe not. Oh, hey. Oh, I'll be right down. Okay, thanks. Hey, you might want to let him out.
Okay, come on.
Car trading today. We're trading cars. That could have scared the hell out of me. Patrick says, I heard Zane on Freeburn Hot Wings talking about Carly Simon's mouth earlier this week. I can't believe I was just talking about it on there. Chris says, woof. Well, look, she's old as fuck now. Let's see. You got to give somebody a pass. I'll bet you she's 80. Oh, my God. I'm goddamn dead nuts on. She is 80 years old. For an 80-year-old woman, she's attractive. You guys got to give people, it's a sliding scale. You got to give people a break. There are very few people who are elderly who can actually look like respectable to go out in public. One of them is my stepmother, Joanne, is extremely pretty. She's 88. She's still very pretty. I'm telling you. And my dad, he's a handsome devil for an old man. 90 years old. Still can't believe he's 90 years old. Oh, my God. Okay. Let's get back to a story that I was talking about on the free podcast. Middletown Township. Dude cuts off dad's head, puts it into a cooking pot wrapped in saran wrap. Chris sends it to me with the line, is he okay? This is an ideal story for that joke. 32-year-old Pennsylvania man accused of beheading dad drove to a military base to try to mobilize the National Guard after the killing he discussed on a YouTube video. Yeah, we live in the golden age of gruesome crimes because, some people actually live stream the actual crime. If I decided to do something gruesome, like cut off somebody's head here on the podcast, I would probably be able to get the whole thing done before somebody would take it down. Authorities provided details in the arrest of Justin Mon for the alleged killing of his father in suburban Philadelphia. District Attorney Jennifer Shore in Middletown Township Police Chief Joseph Barbarilla and the FBI provided the update. He posted the gruesome video on social media that showed him holding up the severed head and railing against the government, authorities said Wednesday. He's charged with first-degree murder and abusing a corpse. Corpse was identified as dad. This is dad before he had his head cut off. No kidding, Eric. Dog came in here. Hey, if you go through there and then pull up on that handle, that door won't be able to be opened. Okay, let me what time can I, how much, because I'm at 22 minutes and I was hoping to go 10 more. Is that not a good idea? At 3? Yeah, it's 12:30. I'll be done in 10 minutes. Is that okay? Yeah. That'll work? Yeah. Okay. You can leave him in here. Thank you. Anyway, where was I? What was I talking about? I know the story I was talking about, but I was at a point in the discussion about it, and I don't remember what it was. Okay. Police were dispatched to the death investigation. As police were responding, they learned that an older man was found in the bathroom with a large amount of blood, and his head had been decapitated. The head was found by the dead guy's wife in a separate room inside a cooking pot wrapped in saran wrap. My God, what's going on? I cannot even begin to. I mean, this actually happened. It just happened. The wife ran to the neighbor's house, called the cops. The dad of the criminal was a federal employee and engineer with the Geo-Environmental Section of the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, Philadelphia District. The son and dad's car were missing from the crime scene. Cops arrived there. Police then began its homicide investigation, put out an alert for the suspect in the vehicle. Police learned about a YouTube video more than 14 minutes long that showed Justin Mon picking up the severed head and identifying his father by name. Multiple calls about the video. They provided a hyperlink to the video. Now, I'm just going to tell you, I would never show you that. Like, if I clicked on that video and it happened to be there, I'm not going to show you that. But I can't believe that in this story that they put the hyperlink there. I'll click it in a second. Actually, I'll click it now. No, it just goes to another news story. Multiple calls about the video were reported to 911. The idiot, the kid who killed dad, detailed the video entitled Moan's Militia during the news conference. She said the video was a call to arms for American patriots. Uh-oh. And was recorded in a bedroom where bloody gloves were found. There's that word again. That's part of an entire portion of our language and our culture that is no longer appropriate. The word patriots is inappropriate. Any type of anything that, you know, the whole what's it called? Gadsden flag, the snake yellow flag deal, the American flag, the thin blue line, all that shit is crazy. MAGA. This is all what crazy people use, different degrees of crazy. And baby Jesus, you know, he's lumped in. These are all things that at one point were good. The high school I went to is the Patriots. Cousin O Patriots. That's ruined. These are all things that all these assholes have ruined. Baby Jesus. Christianity as a whole is completely destroyed. Thin blue line, it's all bad. MAGA, I don't know. That's always been fucked up. Oh. Anyway, the kid said that dad was in hell for being a traitor to America while holding the severed head. Justin identifies himself in the video and refers to himself as a member of the, quote, National Network of Militia, also known as Moan's Militia. It appeared he was reading from a script as he encouraged patriots to kill federal employees. He also ordered that all federal law enforcement officers, judges, and Border Patrol agents be captured and tortured for information and be publicly executed. Wow. When he got to the National Guard Training Center, he had a loaded handgun. He was arrested late yesterday, hours after the killing. My God. He graduated from Penn State. He previously lived in Colorado while working for Microsoft, but was currently unemployed. What a catastrophe. I cannot believe this. Big Shrav Outdoors says, sounds like he's just trying to get ahead in life. You asshole. Oh my God. What a fucking story. Okay. I better go. You know what? Do I have time for one more story? I don't know if I should. I felt like that was turning into a problem. Okay. I'll save the story about the lady, the real estate agent, who had a real barn burner of a home showing. Literally. I'll get to that either on the free podcast tomorrow or on tomorrow's Patreon. By the way, quick update about remember I told you about the lady who was in prison for almost 20 years and then she was exonerated. Now she's suing the police. How could you confuse shaken baby syndrome for pneumonia? And so they said, oh, she did not shake her baby. The baby had pneumonia. They determined that when the child was dying of pneumonia, she shook the child, but they said had nothing to do, like, oh my God, wake up, but it had nothing to do with actually causing the death of the child. That's the update. That's what I found out. Still a remarkable thing that no medical people, after she took that baby to the hospital, they like sent her home. You're being overly cautious. That was a crazy ass story. My God. Okay. That concludes the podcast day. I'll talk to you tomorrow right here on Patreon, the free platform, and hopefully on Q100. Thank you again. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye. Carly Simon, You're So Vain is a great song.